welcome to Culturally Untitled. Today I will not be doing the introduction. I will let my guest, Shea, do the introduction, and he's going to go ahead and translate once he does it.
All right, so welcome, people. Today I'm here with Gomez. And that's what you use?
Yeah, he's Gomez.
Dang. All right, so this is Gomez, and I'm Shea, as you know. But this is Culturally Untitled. I think I'm speaking too much English. You want to restart this shit?
No, you're good.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, so welcome, people. We just like to get into the nitty-gritty of things. We just like to chat, enjoy life, enjoy the podcast. That's it.
And to start things off, the reason I understood him, I understood Patois. The reason why I told him I understand it was because growing up, I used to listen to Ika Miles, Barrington Levy. I still say his name wrong. Barrington Levy, Mr. Vegas, Vibes Cartel. I think the first things I told him was like, I started naming all. I think was it like I started singing the lyrics to "Picture Me and You in the Tree."
Yeah.
Very, very. I guess you can say.
And that shit kind of surprised me,
Yeah.
right? You singing old school Vibes Cartel.
Yeah.
You know, not many people like know that shit. Like,
No.
Not saying it's like not American, but
It's like underground.
it was
Not mainstream, I think.
It wasn't mainstream at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Vibes Cartel is worldwide. So.
Worldwide, yeah. He was. Wasn't he in the Jamaica Fest in New York this year?
Repeat.
He was in. Wasn't he like? I remember I had him on Snapchat, so I remember he was like, Vibes Cartel Jamaica Festival. I think it was like New York or something.
Oh yeah,
the parade or something. Isn't there a parade in New York?
No, but he keeps he did a tour, and it was across like several different states.
It's probably that.
We got a lot of Jamaicans there, so he had a huge turnout at like the Barclays Center and all that shit in New York. So yeah.
Yeah, that's how I honestly. The reason why I started listening to reggae was because I used to, and the block I grew up on was called Marlboro, and I used to hang out with these older guys, and all through their stages I saw them go from, first they were like potheads, they would smoke weed, and then they would listen to reggae, and then Ika Mouse, what was it, Police and Helicopter, what else, Poor Man Style, I think I told you that, the other song is called Ganja Smuggling. That's the first song I understood, Ganja Smuggling by Ika Mouse, and then I saw them go like to punk rockers and then whatever, but that's how I got in tune with reggae. And everybody listens to Bob Marley growing up in California. Everybody would wear the hoodies just to like.
Yeah, Bob Marley's like the main guy, he's that guy.
Yeah, it was kind of like a rebellious thing to do in high school to wear like a Bob Marley hoodie or something.
Really?
Yeah. Did you ever try the Bob Marley tea?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they would put you to sleep. There was when was it? 2011. I was in high school in 2011. I was a freshman, and that's when the tea came out. It was called Peace Tea, and they would put you to sleep. But enough of all that, man. So the first thing we're going to jump into is your early childhood. Now, everybody thinks of Jamaica, this big island. Tell us specifically what part of Jamaica you grew up in.
So I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica, a little place called Jungle. It's what you call ghetto, garrison. So that's where I grew up. I spent like majority of my childhood there. My mom raised me, along with her siblings. My dad was in the States. My dad lived in Philly, So growing up, it was just me and my mom. My dad is in the picture still, but he's here living in the States, right? I grew up in the ghetto at first, but then my mom, she didn't like the environment, and she didn't want to raise me in that environment. So what she did, we moved out, went in Jamaica, we call it uptown, right? So I went to Meadowbrook Estate, I was living there for the rest of my life until I came to the States. So Meadowbrook Estate, I would classify it as like middle class, right, in Jamaica, right? So that's where I grew up, playing football. You guys call it soccer over there, but fuck that.
Well, in America they call it soccer, but Mexicans call it football.
Yeah, so that's a real thing. Football. What the World Cup is going on now?
Yeah.
What's your favorite team?
Mate, bro, honestly, I was about to tell you, I was going to ask you that because I feel like you're more in tune with all the. I always say Mexico, literally Mexico, but there's only one English team that I like, and it's Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Newcastle. That's it.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Why?
I watched this documentary in England. Bare knuckle boxing is like super popular, and this dude is wearing a Newcastle jersey and the black and white stripes. That's
It
why.
just stood out to you.
And they have like a seahorse or like a weird,
Yeah, they have something. I'm not sure.
some like some horse or something like a water seahorse, and that's the only reason why.
Okay.
What is your favorite English team?
Oh, Manchester United.
Manchester.
Come on.
The Red Devils, right, or something?
Yeah,
the
Red
Devils.
Devils. Yeah, from the day Cristiano Ronaldo went there. But you know what? We're not going to talk about football right
Not
now.
yet, not yet. But
Not
I do
yet.
know CR7 the GOAT.
Yeah.
Hold up. One fun fact. You know, when he was living in Dubai, the UAE changed the laws because if you cannot live with a woman if you guys aren't
Unless you're
married.
married. Yeah, I
and
know
they
that.
changed it just for him.
Yeah.
If that's not God, I'm sorry, I don't want to be blasphemous. If that's not goated, then I don't know what it is.
Greatest of all time.
But
yeah.
so back to your childhood, you define. I feel like a lot of people, and I say this with all the most respect from everybody comes from different types of backgrounds, America, Jamaica. When people think ghetto, they think of the projects here in America. But because I for a fact know, I remember I was watching that documentary in Germany, and I told you, do you know who? We're not going to say his name out of respect, keep the innocent innocent. But that's how I knew how Jamaican projects look like. So when people say, "Oh, I'm from the ghetto," does it sometimes cross your mind and say, "No, that's a paradise compared to where the type of ghetto I grew up in"?
I wouldn't say that because coming here to the States, I realized that the ghetto here, like, there are similarities. Some might say here is a little bit worse. Some might say Jamaica is a little bit worse, depending on which ghetto you grew up in. Right? I'm from jungle, otherwise known as concrete jungle. It was bad when it come on to like gang fights, gang wars, all of that shit. Certain, like, sometimes we couldn't like go to a different community there because two community at wars and all that shit. People see you going over there, you might be targeted or some dumb shit. So it's pretty much the same. What we don't have though, so because I come here and I see we got a lot of junkies here, right? We don't have that. You might have a one or two, mentally insane person walking around and they're high off something, but we don't have that influx or that massive amount that the States have. I know the population is way bigger here, but the number, like, it's huge here. We don't have that in Jamaica.
No, I agree. Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like I didn't mean to cut you off, but I also feel like it's a drug problem.
Yeah, here
It's
in
not.
the States.
It's a drug problem, and then there's no rehabilitation, and also as well in America.
Yeah, in America, I think there's a lot of
Yeah, rehabilitation, but I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But but I understand that.
Yeah, we don't got a lot of that in Jamaica. Right, we do got a few people, but people here be living like on the streets, like on the streets. We don't have a lot of that in Jamaica. We do have people suffering, not making ends meet, not working. Like, unemployment is a big thing, but it's totally different from the States. And we are a third world country, but I feel like, based on both experience, I feel like Jamaica is doing way better than the States, even though it's a different economy, right? Because America had a better economy, and Jamaica is a third world country. But for a third world country, we're not doing that bad when it come on to homeless people.
Yes.
Like, we don't got a lot of that.
So when the first time you came to the States, when you saw somebody sleeping, when you had your first encounter with homelessness, what was your reaction? Was it abnormal? Was it shocking?
So I'm gonna be honest. This was like first time was in like Miami, right? You have some bridges in Miami that a lot of people live under. You see that they're pitching tents and all that shit. Like, I was like shocked. I'm like, come on, this is a first world country. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Sometimes you watch, like, back in Jamaica when we watch like movies from here, you see they got like shelters and that thing that holds people that homeless. But it was a shock just to see that a first world country we got people living like this.
And I don't know the exact number of it, but they said that homelessness could be solved, because there's like, I don't know how many vacant houses. I don't know the exact number, but I saw that there's an equal amount of vacant houses, abandoned houses, as equivalent to the amount of homelessness there is. But I feel like that's a whole nother dynamic, which I'm not very informed in. But I guess I can say that I agree with what you said, because I'm like a human, like a random encyclopedia of facts, and not once have I saw that the homelessness is a problem in Jamaica or something. I think what else? Yeah, I don't. I looked into it before we started talking, but we'll get into that later. But so, in your childhood, how were you as a kid? Like, were you calm? Were you the class clown?
No, I was like the quiet one, a little bit reserved. The only time you see you get to know the real me is if we're playing football, right? So I wasn't the loudest, I wasn't the smartest, but I was just there soaking in everything because I'm very observant, right? So I'll be there in the back, observing, doing what I'm supposed to do, because, my mom would whoop my butt if I was doing something dumb. So I was always like reserved, not doing the most, trying to stay out of trouble, right? And that was it, that was it for majority of my childhood.
And then venturing off into middle school and high school, was it still the same
So
demeanor?
it was still the same going into high school. I got myself in a little bit of trouble then in high school. You get mixed up with the wrong crowd, but it's not like violence. It's not like, gang related or shit like that. It was mostly with
Cliques, like a group of people?
yeah, a group of people, where I play ball with, we like do stuff, but it was mostly with like females,
Oh, it was the females was the cause of fights and stuff?
Not fights.
Oh.
I'm so far away from fights,
Okay.
bro. Like, you skip school, go to your friend's house, we call over a couple girls and we have some fun.
Yeah, that's
High
another
school,
that's another thing. Shout out my friend Booth. He was in America for 6 months and then he decided to go to the army. And he was like, I think he was like 19, but he told me in Jamaica, a big thing in Jamaica is sex. That's like something that's very like that.
I think
very.
Jamaica.
He said it had it at a very young age, and it's like, how do I say it? A very open thing. Sex is a very open thing in Jamaica, where like he literally said you can that he explained to me the song by Vibes Cartel. You literally can't. You will see that when everybody goes to the river. There's like a river everybody goes to in the summer. He said he will literally see that people in the river.
Yeah, because the culture in Jamaica is that I think before we get to the culture, I think Jamaica is a very sex positive, right? So we don't like bash people for it, if you get what I'm saying. But growing up, the culture would be like if you listen to majority of the songs, so you'll be like, there's one there that. I don't remember who sang the song, but man, we have enough girl and girl in a bongo, girl from Remark, girl from jungle. So it's like saying that men should have a lot of girls, So growing up, listening to all these songs, that's the culture we men want to have a lot of girls, Not necessarily a good thing.
But also there's the other song that. I think it's it's called like Schoolgirl, and he's like, he says, Schoolgirl, she wants Mr. Blondie Dread.
Nah, I don't know that one.
No?
Who
What
sang
about,
that shit?
I don't know. It's like, what about Disco Devil by Scratchy Lee Perry? Isn't that talking about a guy who goes to the disco?
You're a fucking old soul.
Bro, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
Nah.
Come on, man.
You're an old soul.
No, it goes,
I think these songs are before my time.
Nah, it's called Disco Devil, and it came out in GTA 5. That's why I know. It goes. It said.
I heard it in GTA, but I don't know the song.
And then it says that he's gonna put on an iron shirt, and then it talks about a guy getting ready to go to the disco, and then I think it talks about like getting girls, but like all those songs I get it. Like there's a lot. Like that one song, I have to remember, but it's called, it's literally like, oh, little schoolgirl wants blondie dread, but I told her, no, 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 because you're schoolgirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of this, like, I mean, I get it, but so the girls are the ones like you were having like problems with or whatever, and
Yeah, you can say that.
oh,
Like,
okay,
me skipping school to spend time with a girl or something like that,
yeah,
and not getting in trouble because, the teachers or the principal are going to find out that you're not at school, to call your mom.
hmm
Your mom going to be like, where the fuck you been?
you know, when I was a freshman in high school, I had over 72 absences for first period for PE because and this is what happened in high school. So when I was in high school, there was a clique. It was called Hit Squad, and it was like, I'm not even sure, it was people who were Crips and Blood and Pyru. Pyru was a type of blood gang. And this one time, there was this girl, this big girl, and her name was Dominique, and she would call me Big Hungry. I was really big in high school, and I would call her Big Thirsty. And then I was like, Big Thirsty, Big Thirsty. And then it wasn't her. And that's when I knew I needed glasses. So she went and told these dudes, and these were like varsity basketball players, bro. I'm like 5. I'm short now. I was like short. And they come up to me like, oh, you were talking shit? And I'm like, what's up? We can catch a fade in the bathroom right now, bro. I'm scared shitless. I was scared. I was like, no, I didn't mean no disrespect. He went into the bathroom. No, did he? He changed and he had a tank top. Man, how do you have an 8-pack and abs at 17, bro? Like,
Genetics.
yeah, and I was like, I'm like, damn, bro, I don't like. And I was also more scared of getting in trouble with my mom than fighting. But I also was gonna get my ass kicked. It's a given, But and then that's why in PE, this group of kids or fucking from Hit Squad, they would always be roaming around and ditching, and every time they'd see me, it was like a confrontation. Like, what's up? Where you from? And I'm like, I don't bang. So that's why I ditched PE, because I was so scared. But I was also scared, like, I knew that if I would fight that, win or lose, you get suspended.
Yeah.
And I knew my mom was gonna beat my ass.
I get you.
So I had 72 absences. How many absences do you think you had?
Probably like over 50, to be honest. But that was like after ninth grade. 'Cause after ninth grade is where shit start going like downhill. You start doing a lot of dumb shit then. But it was fun. I don't regret nothing that I did. But confrontation wise, like being in fights, I play football, and all football players stick together. Especially if you're good at it. So even if, you get in some kind of shit with somebody, the whole football team gonna be behind you. So guess what? No one kicking my ass. You get me? So it was basically that.
Okay. And you graduated from high school?
Yeah, I did. I graduated from high school when 2013. Don't do the math. Don't do the fucking math.
I was supposed to graduate 2016, but I was a super senior. Wait, no, I graduated 2016, but I was supposed to graduate 2015. So if you don't know what a super senior is when you don't have enough credits to graduate, so you do an extra year. Because freshman in 10th grade, I didn't do anything. I would just show up, and I just didn't like school. I didn't like the school I was at.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, but so you graduated from high school, and did you have a job? Did you have any jobs during high school?
So right after high school, the first job I ever had was when I applied for a summer work program, right? And it was with the Jamaica Defense Force. I went there to do some electronics. I was doing electronics and electrical in school. So they placed me in a small office working with electronics, small devices, repair, that type of shit. It was just for 2 months. So after that, I had a cousin, right, that's in the Army. And I was like, yeah, what I'm going to do after high school? I have no plans. I was like, should I go to college? But I'm like, damn, to, find the money or to get my mom to spend the money to send me to college, I was like, nah, hear what? I'm going to join the police force or the Army. So I went to my mom with the conversation. You know, I said, the police force. That's the first one that I said I wanted to join. She said, fuck no, they gonna kill your ass. You know, I was like, and she was like so adamant that not going into the police force. So then I said to her, what about the Jamaica Defense Force? And she said, yeah. So I had a cousin, right? And as I said, he was in the army. So I called him and he said, okay, they'll send me information and I get you a call in like a week. I got a call in like 4 days because he got good connections. Then it was very difficult to get into that JDF. People were waiting for like 2-3 years before they get a call, right? So I got the call, went to the orientation, the testing, did the test, passed the test, you know, and then I start the medical process of it. You know, they check everything. It's not like here in the States where, you know, they let you pass. Like they'll fail you for having a flat feet. Yeah, because with a flat feet they say you can't stand long, right? You start feeling pain, back pains, whatever. You know, I don't know, but they'll fail you for like a flat feet. Cause I had a cousin, and he migrated right. We did a test together in Jamaica, and he failed. You know, because he had like a slight scoliosis. So he failed. I passed. He came to the States, and he joined the U.S. Army with having the slight scoliosis, right? But Jamaica would not accept you with that. So this was when 2016 I applied for the JDF. So 2016, applied for the JDF this September, and I went to training November 13th to be exact. That was the exact day, 2016, when I went to training. So training at JDF, you know, to become a soldier, you start out as what they call a recruit. And training was, for me, it was 4 months of basic training, right? That was hell. No one can pay me to go back. I wouldn't do it for love nor money. To go back to that training in 2016, right? That was hell.
What?
That was literally like what you would call it up here, SEER school.
SEER school, yeah.
Yeah, that. Trust me, I feel like that's what I went through.
Yeah, you told me about one experience. So kind of tell me what is day one? Like, what is the reception like?
So day one, you went to upper camp, right? You finish your paperwork. Like you don't get like I think they deliberately do this. You spend the entire day at upper camp. This is in Kingston, and you do your paperwork, everything, and you don't get done until like fucking 8-9 o'clock in the night, right? And then that's just the main camp. You got to travel like an next hour and a half to where they do the basic training. This is in Newcastle, right? It's if you ever heard of the mountains in Jamaica, there's one called Catching Peak. That's where Newcastle is, right? So it's way up on the hill, so it's kind of cold up there, right? Kind of, right? So we get there like fucking 1 o'clock at night. We got there, right? And then I'm in the bus. They told us to, you know, like keep our head down. But when we got to the location, we just hear a lot of shouting. You know, instructors telling us to get the fuck off the bus, and they calling out names. And so what they do, they got like 6 platoons, right? So they calling out names and they tell you which platoon you go to. And we're on like a surface. We call it the parade square, right, in Newcastle. That's what we call it. So that's like a flat pavement where we do drills, right? So they're calling out your names. You got to run to your platoon what they tell you to, and when you get over there, like that was part of the night initially, and then you know we march down, like we walk down to our barrack area, you know, start fixing up shit, you know, unpacking what we could unpack, you know. Following morning, we would get up early in the morning and go to collect our equipment. So, see, like how at US basic training, collect all our things like reception. So this is like something like reception. So collect our gears. Everyone is being nice to us.
What type of gear was it? Like OCPs,
Like,
PTs?
so back then we trained in something called what? I would have to show you. I don't remember what they call it, but it was like a full green suit.
Like a flight suit, kind of? Well, like the one that the overalls?
No, not overall, but it's like
Not overalls.
It's like OCPs,
Coveralls.
but it's like OCPs, but it's fully green.
Okay.
Right? It's just green bottom, green top, right? So we collect those, collect our rucksack, poncho, everything that you gonna need for basic training.
Was it new or used?
New? No. The equipment that we would like the rucksack, all of them shit, the knee pads, all that was new, but like the OCPs, that was used. So they just recycling back then. Right, back then, that was 2016. So, everything, you get out of pants and it's tear, so you have to bring a sewing kit with you when you go into basic training.
They asked, they said that.
That's a requirement. You have to bring a sewing kit. So you have to stitch up your shit if you get fucked up uniforms. So after that, collect everything. Everyone is being nice, super nice, introducing themselves. All the instructors introducing themselves. You say, okay, this is not so bad, this is not so bad. You go into bed on time and all that shit until you get to something we call bomb night, right? You go to bed, it's, you're feeling good, you're going to wake up next morning and you think that everything is going to be okay. You just hear like a ton load of rounds going off. A lot of rounds going off. Instructors coming out, beating on the door, saying to get the fuck up, get outside, whatever. So he says we rushing up, trying to put on our shoes or shit, trying to go. My boot still untied, I'm trying to put on my uniform, get out there. When I look, I see fucking chasers going over my head, So they shooting like it's blank rounds, but you seen like. I don't know, you seen chasers, you seen that red streak, whoosh, so I'm getting dressed. They're trying to direct us. We see instructors with like machetes, we call them cutlass, they're swinging them at you and you got to be running. So, but they're trying to like tunnel us, like, you do the sheep.
Yeah, they're hurting you guys?
They're hurting us. So they like swarming us from all different directions to us to go to like the parade square. And then I was running, run like all the way up to Hollywell, and then went way down to like the fucking one of the small arm range, and then we had to come through some bushes and everything. At this point, we're tired as fuck, right? When you get to the small arm range, when you go there, so they have like this gas chamber there. Bear in mind, you're running, you're sweaty, right? You're tired. I wanted to piss. I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to piss so bad. And we have to go inside the gas chamber. Remember, you're running, you're sweaty, right? This is like fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Going to that gas chamber, that was like torture. Eyes burning, fucking, you're sweating, so the gas gonna react to the sweat on you.
Like
it's gonna burn you.
The gas, the gas, the same gas.
Yeah, that we got in basic training.
Yeah, shit.
So that when you're sweating, that shit gonna burn your skin. So I went in the gas chamber. Then at that point, when you come out, you gotta shout out your name and your rank. So it would be like I would say like JDF, not yet assigned, recruit Walters S. So I had to shout that shit out when I got out of the gas chamber. And then they would continue smoking us. Right? We're doing push-ups, we're doing everything. I'm like, what the fuck did I sign up for? So then they take us to this part. This is like way at the bottom of the hill. And there is this, there's like the captain that's in charge of training for that batch of soldiers, he was like standing on top of the hill with like this fucking stick in his hand and this black coat on, looking like something out of a fucking TV show. You know?
Like a trench coat?
Like a trench coat, you know.
Middle of the night?
Fuck. No, they were smoking us that long, it got bright out. So it was like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning now. So they smoking the dog shit out of us. Right? And I'm like, fuck. And he was like, you want to be a, so, you know, he talking down to us and say, yo, if you want to quit, quit now. You know? I was like, they're looking, doing my push-up, looking around and see if I'm going to see anyone going to put their hands up. I'm like, shit, I'm not going to be the first one to fucking quit. You know? I'm like, but my cousin was there as well because he's a fucking instructor. So he was there and he came over me and he was like, this is what you want, right? Better push the fuck through. Right? He was like saying, this is nothing. You can do it. Right? Then he walked away and I was like, fuck, I want to quit so bad. This was like, you getting smoked from fucking 4 in the morning to fucking 7 o'clock. That's 3 hours worth of smoking. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. My skin burned. I pissed my fucking self.
Damn. That's no joke. That's no joke.
We didn't get a chance to do nothing. Right out of the gas chamber, we had to be running still. I'm like, shit, might as well do it. Right? I couldn't do nothing else. I needed to go. You know? So
after 3 hours, I mean.
Fuck. So I was like, damn, this shit gonna get bad. So I'm like, you know, we getting smoke, and then they finally stopped smoking us. We went up back to our platoon, and all. So we just had got back to our barrack room, and remember I told you that all the fucking instructors were like being nice initially. That was through the door. Everyone became an asshole. All the instructors. So we had this thing we had to do when like you're approaching an instructor. You got to do like a marching drill. Like you got to plant one foot and stomp the next one, and say like you got to always address them as sir, right? So you'll be like Corporal Walter, sir. You know, dumb, but that was it. So basic training initially starts right now, right? And you know, there was a lot of stuff going on, but few of the things that I can remember that scarred me for life, right? So we're training, so we had classes like weapon classes, we had like map reading classes, all of that shit, you know, and then like we had drill classes as well, because drilling is something that Jamaicans take pride in, you know, because we got it from like the British, so we take pride in that shit. So,
for those that don't know, Jamaica was once a British colony.
Yeah, so we take pride in that shit. So we always have to be drilling. Like we drill here in the U.S., we drill different. We just like.
It's not.
But we got in Jamaica, you got to be swinging your arms up, level and in line, you know. So it was a lot. And then, you know, instructors was fucking you up just because. You know, I remember one night, there was this instructor, right? Not gonna say his name, 'cause I still don't fuck with him up to this day, you know. And he was like sending one of my homeboys called Bloomfield. He said Bloomfield should go for a fucking spread. We call jam. You know what's jam? Like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
He's sending him for one bottle of that from a next instructor in a different platoon, and he said I should go with him. Bro, when we got there, that motherfucker put us in gas masks, right? Had us kneeling on our knees in the doorway, and a big bucket of water was in front of us. And you know, like those mess cup that they gave us to drink out of? One of his recruits had that pouring on our heads like this for the entire night until the bucket empty, and then they send us back to our platoon, right? So imagine getting water trickled down your head for like 4 or 5 hours, right? Then you got to get up, then you got to go back to your platoon, get 2-3 hours sleep max, get up 4 o'clock for PT, right? Tired as fuck, no sleep, no nothing. Doing PT was like a fucking smoke session. You know, so doing PT, coming back from PT, going to breakfast, right? Right after breakfast, we had drill. And then right after drill, we had lunch. And then weapons class or map reading class or something of the sort. So that was the schedule. And then they gave us utensils that, you know, knife, fork, spoon. So on the weekends, we used to use our forks or or knives to fucking do gardening. Gardening,
Like cutting weeds and stuff.
yeah. So we had to use that shit to cut the weeds out the platoon area, make sure everything is looking crispy clean and everything. Your fucking knife that you're eating with, you had to use it to do all that shit, right? So doing laundry wasn't a thing. You get Sundays would be like your rest days, right? And you get a chance to like get a bath pan with water and soap and try to do your laundry. You put that shit on the line. Next thing you know, fucking someone's stealing your drawers. You get me? So that was a thing. You mark your shit and sometimes they still turn up missing. You go to pick up your shit off the line, it's not there. You know, so that was like fucked up. But it is what it is. You know, so that was part of it. I remember I got accused. One of my friends and got accused of stealing something that you call a cross rifle. So in the JDF, you have this thing we call a marksman. That's when you get the highest score on the shooting range, right? So one of the corporals, same guy, still don't fuck with him. You know, he had a cross rifle that you wear on your dress uniform, right, to indicate that yeah, you're a marksman, right? That you know you can shoot. So he normally have them in the barrack room on a table, you know, displayed in front of everyone. So one night we came back from like a catch and peak run. We went up to the highest part of the peak, run up there, run, come back, tired as fuck. He came in the barrack room and he was like, "This shit is missing." I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck a cross rifle is at that point. You know, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So he accused me and my friend Wilson for say we stole it. What we gonna steal that shit and do with it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
What the hell? We have no use for that shit. We don't even know what that shit is. So he said we stole it, and he fucked us up that night. The whole night we just got smoked the entire night. At one point, he had us in the garden just sprinkling us with a hose, and it got real cold. Yeah, they had to like wrap my homeboy Wilson up in a fucking blanket and take him to the medical center.
so the hypothermia. He got hypothermia.
He like that motherfucker could not move. Right? I was like, damn. At this point in the training, like probably like 2-3 weeks in, probably 2 weeks in, and we used to do something called they call it night hardening, right? But it was like literally torture. One of the instructor, which this one is my favorite instructor, right? And he was cool, but he was he was fucking the worst when it come on to like fucking us up. You have this alkaline song that you know the DJ the artist called Alkaline.
No, I don't.
I introduced it to him. Well, introduce it to his music next time. But he has a song that called like After All. You see, once you hear that shit playing in the back room, just know we getting fucked up. Just know we getting fucked up.
He played over this. You guys had speakers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he just played on his phone.
Okay.
No speakers. You know, we're not that stuff.
Oh, okay.
That training here is not that stuff.
Yeah, we had speakers in the States. Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, he started playing After All, the dogs is blessed away upon the call. For rifle in the final wall. Oh my God.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the song when you're saying this.
So we hear that, we say, oh, fuck. And then we're like, we're in first platoon. So we're like, first platoon, outside. And he just come on, his hoodie on, and he just take a seat right in front of us in the garden. And then he'd all tell us to like, take a knee. We take a knee, and he just starts splashing water on us all fucking night. And then we have to say this thing like, Heights of great men reach unkept or not attained by, you know that shit?
No, I don't. It's a cadence.
No, it's not a cadence. It was like, I don't know what to call it, but it was like some. But yeah, I'm not recalling it right now. But we had to say that shit like every time he's fucking us up. So people like other platoons were like sleeping, bed down, you know, having a great night, getting rest, preparing for the next day. And we were outside till like 3, getting fucked up, getting 1 hour sleep to go to PT at 4, right? You gotta come in. And this thing, I didn't tell you this, our uniforms had to be pressed. Yeah, we had to use the iron and press that shit. And your seams better be like straight and
Oh, crease. Like
yeah,
they have to be creased
yeah, they had to be creased and stiff, no homo, but
before PT.
like after PT,
Oh, okay.
you got to prepare from the night before, so you got to starch that shit and press it, and then you still like how the Marines cuff their sleeves. We have to cuff our sleeves and make sure that shit tight. There's no breathing room right here. It's like super tight. So I'll show you a picture of that, our basic training shit. I'll send you it. So we had to do all that shit before we go to our bed at nights, right? We didn't even like sleeping in our beds because we got to make our beds in the morning, and it got to be like the blanket got to be full like to like 12 centimeters.
It has
or
to
something.
like kind of like in the
Yeah, and the bed got to be
4 inches from the pillow and stuff like that.
yeah,
Oh.
stuff like that, and then you got to like hospital.
Hospital tuck or something.
Yeah,
I still don't know
all
how to
that
do
shit.
it.
Bro. We didn't sleep in the bed. We used to sleep on the ground just so cause we didn't have time to get up, go to PT. No, we had to spread our beds, go to PT, and all. We didn't have time to do that shit. So some of us used to like sleep on the ground, some of us sleep on the bed just like that and just straighten it up in the morning. Cause we do this thing. I don't remember how often we did it. I don't remember if it was every Friday. We had inspections. Right, and then the commander of the training would come and inspect us, and they come in with the rulers. They're coming with white gloves, and they're checking everything. They putting their hand on top of the locker, wiping that shit to see if the white gloves messed up. On top of the door creases, the window sills, everything. Checking to make sure there's no dirt in the air in the place.
And if there
Nothing.
happens to be dirt, you guys are getting fucked up.
Getting fucked up.
So
They're checking your sleeve, your buckle, if your shit is tight enough, everything. They're checking. The bathroom, everything they're checking. If your garden outside don't look presentable, they're checking it as well. Everything on these old fucking buildings. So that was like crazy, but yeah. So after that, training, after getting used to that, the first 2 weeks was extremely hard, coming from civilian life, adapting to that style. It gets lonely up there. I'm be honest with you. When I was training, I had a friend named Anderson. We lived in the same community, and we applied at the same time. And coincidentally, we got placed in the same platoon and everything. Because at one point, I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit. I wanted to leave. I was like not feeling this shit. I'm like, this is too much. To be honest. We have some guys in the platoon that they wrote letters saying they wanted to quit, and they sent them home. And I wanted to write my letter. I wrote a letter, and my friend Shane Anderson, that's my brother.
yeah, shout out Shane Anderson.
Shout out Shane Anderson. He took that shit from me and said, "You ain't going nowhere. We're gonna do this shit. This is light work. Without Shane doing that shit, I might have went back home. Because at this point, training was hard, and it was physical. Instructors at that time could have put their hands on you. I remember I was at the range one day, and I saw my cousin. His name was Lance Corporal Warman at the time. I think he's a staff sergeant at the moment, but I remember I saw him at the range, and I wanted to ask him a question. So I went up to him, and I said, I wasn't like too close, but I went up to him and I said, Lance Corporal Warman. And I didn't say, sir. An instructor was like, maybe. I didn't even know, oh, he got so close to me. A different instructor. The same one that I don't fuck with. And I got like half dozen bucks to the face. Whop, 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 whop.
Fuck.
Like,
Smack the taste
bro,
out your mouth?
that shit smacked the block off me. I was so shocked. You know, I'm like, tears wanted to come to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, fuck, this was in front of everybody. All 250 of us that was training. In front of all the instructing staff, everyone. I got that. I was like, fuck. I was like, I couldn't do shit about it. Nothing about it. And my cousin couldn't do shit either. All he could do is stand there and watch. Because that's just part of the training, they say. You know, but that was like fucked up. You know, I still don't fuck with that guy. But yeah, so that was one. We at the same time at the range though, not like the same time, but in the period, because we go to the range for a week and we stay there, right, living in tents. You know, so I remember at that point they like freed us up to like buy snacks from we call them nafi. That's what we call, like, you know, that's what we call it.
The vendors?
Like, no, they don't got vendors. It's like, oh, we got the PX.
Mm-hmm.
We call it the nafi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if they still call it like that, but we call it nafi. So we used to go to nafi and get like snacks and shit. Buy rough tops, you know, some snacks in Jamaican snacks. So one night, you know, someone stole something. They stole someone's snack. And then one of the corporals he was duty that night, he lined he gathered everyone in the intake, all 250 of us. And he said, if we can't find out who stole it, I'm going to fuck all of y'all up. And that night was what we call Operation Integrity. That man fucked us up all night. I'm saying we have like 900 meters worth of training ground, like to where the firing point is. And we would be like, he got into what we call a rollover. That's like one of the patrol vehicles. Mm-hmm. He got into that and he lined us up and said each time he toot the horn, we gonna adapt a new movement style. Crawl, running, eye crawl, whatever it was. You know, each time he toot the horn, bruh, we start running. He toot the horn, we start crawling. We had to roll too. So toot the horn third time we had to roll. The third time we like got to it, like the third iteration of it, and we start running again, I decided I'm running straight to the fucking end. Right? That man drive the fucking car straight around everyone else and came and caught like 5-6 of us trying to like cheat. You know, cause I'm not fucking crawling all the way down there.
So you guys,
know? So we trying to get down there as quick as possible. That motherfucker drove around on everyone else and stopped us. And we had to be rolling all the way there. I'm like, fuck. When we got done with that part of that smoking, we had to go up to we had a fucking trench with like muddy water and all shit, frogs inside and all that. So we had to fucking crawl through that shit, crawl through that shit. And then they like send a couple of us to find frogs in it. You know, fortunately I wasn't one to go find a frog, but they had to find frogs and come back. And then, you know what's a cardon?
No.
So it's like, you remember that shit that we went to the driving shit?
The
driving thing that we went to the other day?
Oh, yeah, the simulation?
Yeah, the simulation. So, and we had to like form a cordon around the side. So we formed a cordon around the tent that the instructors lived in. And we had to stand there all night after that. Right? He got in trouble for fucking us up like that though, because we had the range and we were shooting early in the morning, you know, and if we're not getting any rest, you know, someone can get hurt. So he got in trouble for that. But
So who took the snack?
I don't know.
I
Man.
mean, I'm curious. I mean, it's like it's not.
I'm curious too, you know,
Do you
like
think you know who it was?
I think I knew it was, you know, because it's not going missing in a specific tent, you know, but fuck it. We all got
But
fucked
the
up.
guy went and snitched.
No one snitched.
Then how do you know someone took it? Wait,
Oh,
they
yeah,
took
yeah,
it.
yeah. The person that lost his shit, he went and snitched,
I mean,
you know, and we all got fucked up for it. But it is
you
what it
guys didn't
is.
fuck him up for snitching.
Huh?
You guys didn't fuck him up for snitching. So you say you don't know who took the chips?
Hell no.
Well, they were chips, right? What were they called?
Rough tops.
Rough tops. Oh, I'll put them in the clip. So, fast forwarding a little bit, after all that was said and done, I know about the Jamaican military. It's like everybody's infantry, and then it's your job. Did you choose your job after?
So everyone is infantry initially, right? So then you go to like when you graduate, you go to like your unit, and then it's got to be like, to me, it's like you got to like show what your interest is in, right? So rewind a bit. So at the end of what we call extended training, which is AIT here, at the end of extended training, you get placed, randomly placed in a unit. So you might go to like an engineering unit or a support and service unit or the infantry. If you get lucky, you go to military intelligence or the air wing. That's what we call it, the Coast Guards. But everyone is infantry. That's what you get trained at. If you go to the air wing, they're gonna train you to whatever job that they have down there. I'm not sure of the jobs they got because I went to the infantry. I went to the infantry. I worked as an infantryman for like maybe 1 year, and then I had an accident, and then I went into something like support. So I was what we call it here?
Brigade?
No, I went to like supply.
Supply.
Yeah. So I was like working with supply for like a good 4 months, and then one of my corporals that was in charge of me, saying, yo, you want to be a clerk? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to go on the road no more. There's nothing to learn on the fucking road, So I was like, all right, they sent me in the office to work as a clerk, like what we call a S1 right here. I was there doing all the clerk stuff, sending people off on leave, monitoring their leave, anyone want to apply for anything, that go through me. I was there for like, before I went on the clerk course, because we call it a clerk course, so I was like working as a clerk for like almost a year and a half. Yeah, almost a year and a half before I went on the clerk course. I went on the clerk course, and meet a lot of people, learn a lot of things. And right after that, I changed battalion. So I was at a battalion called 1JR. It was a good experience. I was at Charlie Company. The best company, the worst company, the best company. We were like the unruly kids of the battalion. But yeah, I was at Charlie Company, went to the clerk course, and they dismantled fucking Charlie Company. They said they sent us all over the place. Some of us went to combat support battalion. I went to combat support battalion. We were there for like a couple of months before they started a new battalion called 4JR. I went to 4JR, and I was there as a clerk at Bravo Company, for extended time. Working as a clerk, it's good. It's like a 9 to 5. you know. It was good. You're not on the road every day in the fucking sun, you know. So it was good. And after I left Bravo Company, I went to headquarters to work as a clerk. And that's where, no, I got my promotion to Lance Corporal when I was at Bravo Company. And then I went to headquarters. But headquarters was good, you know. Yeah, around a lot of higher ups. Kind of get, you know, everyone knows you, you know, everything everything goes through you. So the company sends you to the battalion headquarters. So everyone information is flowing directly through you. So that was a lot of work, you know.
I imagine it's a lot of administration.
A lot of administration.
And
a lot, you know.
You touched on it a little bit. You said it was all by hand. It's all nothing, all paper.
All paperwork.
No computer.
You said no. You working with computers.
No, you said that the packet. You said something about the packet.
Oh, so
the accident packet.
Oh yeah. So I was like in charge of traffic accidents. You know, and that was a lot of work because it's not like here where all the officers do their shit and they check all the clerical stuff, grammar, you know, make sure the writing is up to standard and all that. We had to do all that shit in Jamaica. We had to check the officers' work, check the warrant officers' work, everything, make sure that everything is on point. And like a traffic accident can take like a lot of time, you know. So that was it. But it was like a lot of work. Cause you're there working at headquarters and you have like 400 or 500 people, right? And all of their information is coming to you, you know. Yeah. So it was a lot, you know. Sometimes I was like a little bit jealous of the people that, you know, on the road, because they're on the road sometimes, you know, and they come back to base and they be like chilling in the back room and you stuck at the fucking office, you know, from fucking 7:45 till 1700, you stuck in the office.
And you were living at the barracks at the time?
So it's a little bit different in Jamaica. You don't gotta live at the barracks. You live at the barracks in a sense, but you go home every day.
Ah, okay.
You know, so if I wanted, I lived in Kingston, but when I went to Fort JR, they moved me to St. Anne. So that's like probably like an hour drive from Kingston, right? You have to take the toll and all that shit. You know, we're not making that much money where I would be able to like go home every fucking day. Because you gotta think about gas prices. Gas prices is like just as bad as here in the States. You know, and bear in mind that we're making Jamaican currency. We're not making the currency in the States. So if I have to make that drive every day, a 1.5 hour drive, burning gas, you know, that would have stacked up. Like my paycheck would have been just disappear. You know, so I would like stay in St. Anne, Monique, for like the entire week. I'll stay from Monday to Friday, and I'll go home Friday afternoon. Right, come back Monday morning, and I'll stay there, you know, until that was it. You know, but people that live close by could go home every day
if they choose to.
If they choose to, you know, which when I was at 1JR, you know, that was based in Kingston, I went home every day. I had no reason to stay on base.
Do you have any pictures of you in the barracks? 'Cause you know, everybody that, like, I don't know, you never got to live in the barracks here, and that's good. I'm glad you didn't have to experience that, Stuart. But everybody that after AIT, everybody's taking pictures in AIT.
In the barracks.
In the AIT barracks.
Yeah, I took a lot of pictures in the AIT barracks. Yeah.
In the States or in Jamaica?
In the States.
Do you have any pictures of the barracks in Jamaica?
Yeah, I do. Okay, I do. I'll send you one.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You sent me that picture, man. That's a very fire picture. The one you sent me with the COVID mask.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of insight in regards to the Jamaican military. And now that you told me the stories in depth, I'm like, when we were getting smoked in the field, I was like, you were just standing there, just kind of like,
No, I was just going through the motion.
Yeah, it
At
was.
that point, I was like,
I remember it was. Man, it was hot, and the mosquitoes.
shit.
I was trying to be funny, but I was actually like dying inside. On you remember me counting?
Yeah.
1, 2. But nah, man, it was
Yeah.
like I was defeated. But so after, how was your transition out the Jamaican military?
So
When was it?
2022, I was coming to the end of my contract, which was in October. No, my contract actually ended in 2023, February the 4th, right? But I had enough leave saved up where I could have went on leave from October the previous year, which was 2022. So, I went off on what we call discharge leave, and I was in Jamaica, and I was like, yeah. I had already made plans to come to the States, because my son was born here. So, I come to the States right in October, and, it was a good transition for me, but coming to the States and then transitioning from one military to a civilian life, right? And then back to an ex-military.
So what were you working in during?
So when I came here,
What was the first American meal that you had when you got here?
so I used to travel a lot.
Oh, okay.
I used to travel a lot. So I was like back and forth from the States a lot. From like 2018, I was like traveling, like I would come to stay like 3-4 times for the year. So, but the first time I came to America was like 2018, and the first meal I had, I think it was, I can't recall, but I know I came to Philly and my dad took me to a breakfast spot.
IHOP, Waffle House,
No,
Buc-ee's.
no, I can't
It was
remember.
Denny's.
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 Yes, that breakfast spot. Yeah. So that was my first like real American meal. It was good. I wasn't fucking with the hash browns, but
No.
at the time, I wasn't fucking with the hash browns. I was like, why the potatoes like cut
Yeah.
like this and shit?
I don't like the hash browns.
Why don't they just give me fries?
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the hash browns.
Yeah, so I traveled back and forth. But then when I finally migrated to the States, I was like living in Miami, as you know.
Of course.
So that was like Miami is a place to be.
I've never been.
I wasn't like literally in Miami, but I was in like South Florida. I was like a place called Coral Springs.
I heard
it was
about
like 20 minutes from Fort Lauderdale. Nice place, right? So yeah, so that's where I came to live.
I forgot I had this question. It just came to me. During your basic training in Jamaica, did you guys have any suicides?
No.
Any AWOLs?
No.
Damn. That just shows the mental resilience. I mean.
Yeah.
And then we'll tap into that when we get to the basics. So what were you working in Miami?
So when I just got here, right, I was doing the first job I got to when I came to the States, and the situation,
Yeah.
So the first job, one of my homeboys linked me up and was like, yo, I got this friend that, he does like cleaning, house cleaning, like after they do a renovation or if there's a new development, they go in and they like clean the house, make sure the people moving in got, a clean house coming to. And we went to a place called Boca Raton in Florida, South Florida. One of the high-class communities. And it was a big-ass house. The house was valued at like 3-point-something million.
Wow.
Right? Just finished building. So, we're just going there to do the cleaning. And I only went there once. I only did that job like one time, but that was like my first job. And it was like, I was there for like 3 hours and the guy paid me like fucking $150. I was like, all right, not bad, you know. But I'm looking for what's next, you know, because I'm like, you know, not really my style, you know, because, you know, you got people working with, you know, you got somebody over you. So I'm like, all right, what's next? So they're looking still. And then I was like, seeing everyone talking about Uber and DoorDash. So I started out doing some DoorDash. And I was like, damn, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's
You know,
not.
I'm like, yo, this shit not that bad.
I mean, I feel like if you're physically fit, it's not that bad at all.
So I'm doing DoorDash and I'm like, yeah, I'm making some money. All right. Doing DoorDash, like just in the evens though. Like from maybe like 7 to like, depending. If it's a good night, I'll probably work till like 2 in the morning. You know, in like 1 week, you're making like a good $600-700.
Yeah, definitely. When you back then,
Back then, I don't know what's going on now.
It's horrible.
But
now.
back then, you know, you make a good $600-700, and I'm not doing it every day. Like probably like 4 times a week. You know, 4 nights out of the week, I'll go and do that. You know. Then I was like, I know a friend that he was doing Uber. You know, and he's showing me like, yo, Uber make more money. And I'm like, okay, let me try Uber. You know, it was like Lyft, you know, Lyft. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start out with doing some Lyft, and then do some Lyft. And I was like, yeah, this not that bad. I remember one of the craziest night I have doing Lyft was one of the New Year's night, New Year's Eve. I made over $1,500 in one night.
Damn.
In one night.
One night.
Doing Lyft.
That's a lot. I mean, the most I've ever made in one day was 400, and that was the day before St. Patrick's Day. The Saturday of St. Patrick's Day here in Savannah.
Yeah. But I was using like one of them black trucks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that bringing crazy bread that night. Like,
What are they called? The luxury?
Yeah.
Luxury XL or something.
Yeah. So I was doing that. You know, yeah, it was going good. And then I was like, shit, this shit putting a lot of mileage on the car. I'm like, all right, let me see what's next. You know, so I had a homeboy who was working. I got a lot of homeboys.
Yes.
So I got a homeboy who was working at this company that they do, you know, the exhaust fans in the kitchen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
that-
for
that-
like the
heat-
industrial kitchens.
Industrial kitchens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they used to like clean those and repair them, you know, and they were paying like $16 an hour, right? And I was doing that in the night as well, right? So I started doing that. It was going good, you know. The guy who hired me quit. I was like, damn. And it was like just 3 of us doing it for this company, right? So every night we'd be out working. So it was like the guy who hired me quit. So it was just me and someone else, you know. And then the boss for the company said, yo, get me two persons to work. And I was like, all right, I give you a commission off everyone that stays for like 3 months. I said, okay. You know? So I was like, I got 2 of my homeboys come and join the work. And then he gave me a raise for that, for stepping up, right? Because I was doing all the driving. So he gave me a raise for stepping up. You know, and it was good. It was good, you know. But it was like $17, and then he raised it again to like $18, you know. But it was like the night shift, and it was like we only did it like after the restaurants closed. But that shit was getting to me, like just up all night, you know. So I was like, yeah, I need something else, you know. I was trying to juggle both. So I applied for Amazon, delivery driving. So got through the Amazon. They were paying like $18 an hour, you know. And I was like, all right, that's not bad. Let me do that. Working on Amazon, you know, crazy. You know, you're on the road every day driving, delivering. You know, you see a lot of shit.
Isn't it 10 hours, 4 days for 40 hours?
Yeah, Yeah.
What
So
did
you work
you?
4 days. I used to work from Sunday to Wednesday and then Friday, and I would get like get Thursday and Saturday off. You know, Thursday. I had to work a weekend. What was it again? So I think I worked from Sunday to Tuesday. Some shit. I don't remember what the fuck I did, but it was 4 days, right? But I remember when it got to like the peak season, I did. I only work. I work like 6 days a week. When it got to peak season, I got overtime be looking good. You know, you're working 6 days. You're making like for 2 weeks. You're working 120 hours. You know, so that was looking good, right? Cause that's like 40 hours overtime, right? So that was doing good. Like, yeah, I'm milking this shit. They raised the money. After the first month I was there, they raised it to $19. I was like, okay, but they were only giving people that was been there for more than 6 months.
Did you ever, when you were working at Amazon, did you have the light blue badge or did you have the member badge?
I don't remember. I think it was a light blue badge.
Yeah, they gave you like a member badge. I don't know. If
But
I worked at Amazon, I didn't like.
yeah, like the badge couldn't get me through the
Yeah.
main door. You know, I had to call someone to buzz me in. I was like, why you giving me a badge then?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't a lot of weird people work at Amazon?
A lot of weird.
Yeah. Well, I was a stalker. I was in the warehouse. So did you tell me I'm lying? Did you ever like? There's a lot of little abnormal people that I met when I was working at Amazon.
So I didn't really mess around inside the building, so I don't really know. Like some people that carried the carts to me to load up the truck, and that was it. You know,
Yeah.
I was really like I was still reserved because I'm a reserve guy, so I'm still reserved, not doing too much. You know, messed around a few, talk around
Talked
to
when you
two
needed
people.
to.
You know,
Yeah.
when I need to, but that was it. You know, but I was doing both jobs now. So I was doing Amazon in the day and then the other job at the night. And I was burning out. So I was like, yeah, fuck this night job, you know. Because at the point, you know, some of them jobs in the night, they don't take long. So you're not making enough money because you're not doing the hours. We had to sit on a job to be like, make some good money, you know. But I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not staying up all night just to do that. So I quit. And then was doing Amazon, like Amazon, until I was like, it was like February. I was like, hey, the summer not gonna catch me in this truck, you know, cause Miami get real hot, you know. So I was like,
So you said that you weren't gonna be caught in the summer working in that truck.
yeah, I couldn't get caught in that truck in the summer, cause you know Florida get hot. So I was like, all right, Army. So one of my own boys, Lamar, that was working at Amazon with me, I said, yo, let's try this shit. You know, so I was like, leaving one army, going to the next army. I didn't really want to do it. But I'm like, it's my way out. You know, so I was like, all right, army. Signed up. The paper is like the same February. You know, I went to do the test, the ASVAB, in March. Did it pass? You know, so I was like, all right, what are my options? You know, like, my cousin was a 92 Fox. So I was like, let me go do that. He said it was relaxing, you know.
It is. It is.
Really not,
For the most
really,
part.
really for what, when we're not in the fields. But so I was like, all right, 92 Fox, you know, I'm going to try it. Recruiter said, okay, you know, you got the score, let's go do it. So I went to do all the follow-up work after that. And then I went to basic training May. So signed up in March, ASVAP everything, you know. Went to basic training the following May. And reception was the hardest part of basic training, to be honest.
Where'd you do basic training at?
Fort Jackson. You know, they call it what? Relaxing Jackson.
Raxon Jackson.
So it was not a bad experience. You know, it was a complete 360 from Jamaica, if you hear what I'm saying. Because the military in Jamaica, you know, I couldn't get time to sleep. But here at Fort Jackson, I was going to bed like at fucking 7 sometimes. You know? Yeah.
I was going to sleep at 8, 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, you know, we got nothing going on. You know, go to sleep at fucking 7, 8. You know, get in maximum time to sleep. Wake up in the morning, do PT. You know, one same rotation again. You know, doing whatever it is we
Yeah.
got to do. You know, so it was like a little summer camp. You know, instructors came around trying to smoke us. You know, push-ups. I'm like, okay,
For,
yeah.
for somebody
Do
who's...
push up. You know, for someone that's coming from Jamaica where they basically tortured us. I'm like, the instructor saying like, okay, do push ups. I'm like, okay. You do 10 push ups, they tell you to get up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine. You know, I'm like, okay, this is relaxing. Change the game, you know, different environment, more relaxing, you know, well taken care of, because I'm not gonna lie, you know, coming from somewhere where we had to wash our clothes with fucking bath pans, you know, we had machines at basic training. You wash your clothes, you dry them same time, you know.
I've done that before. Not with the... What do you call it? Bad pans?
Yeah, bath pans. You know.
Nah, when I want to go visit my grandmother, it's they have a stone, a specific, like, it's made out of stone, and you scrub it with the stone, and you put the bar of soap, and
Yeah.
so that's it's not easy doing it every weekend for, like, you know, it's not compared to clothes that you're actually like working out in. Yeah, so
So, you know, that was basic training, real, like, just a little summer camp, you know.
I hate when people say that they like their basic training. I hated mine, but
You hated it? Nah, the worst part of AIT for me, and some people say this is the best part, was the nick at night. I hated that shit because, man, we in the fields already, right? Already dirty, already sweaty, already smelling, and then we had to go crawl like 50 meters or something like that. You know, they say it's sand, but that shit was hard as fuck. You know, that when I finished, I had bruises on my elbow, my fucking knee. You know, people, you know, they showed at us and all that shit, but it wasn't hard. It was just, you know, uncomfortable. You know, but that was the worst part of AIT, part of basic training for me. You know, because that shit sucked. And then isn't it like you're doing it and then you go into shower or whatever after you go back to the fucking fields.
battle, drill, march, and shoot, and then you go back to the...
Yeah, and then, you know, that, what was it, a 12-mile ruck to go back to
I didn't ruck back. We took a...
You took a bus?
Yeah, we took a bus back.
Oh, hell no. We had to do that run back, that march back, that 12-mile ruck back. And then when we got to the bar room area, to go back to that complex, there was like this guy, one of the instructors, he parked up his truck and they were playing like some country music shit, welcome us back to post, right? I'm like,
some... So, in my opinion, I think you, like you said, for somebody coming from the Jamaican military, AIT was a breeze. It was a summer camp, and I respect that. And I mean, I honestly think you did. It was a summer camp for you, but for you, when somebody tells me, oh yeah, like my basic training was fun, I had a blast. I'm always hating. I'm always talking shit because I hated mine. I was in Fort Leonard Wood. I hate the cold so much. Like, you don't have an idea how much I hate the cold.
no, I hate the cold too. Trust me.
But, man, you get a pass. I'm not gonna be a hater. But you were also, also that, like, you are still at your, I guess you can say, fucking, what's that word called? Your mental resilience is uncomparable to somebody who is a new recruit in the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
So that's why it was a summer camp. I'm pretty sure you don't have to say it out loud. But was there points, there's times where in basic training you thought, this is a joke. There's no way we're being trained to be this.
So I wouldn't say like this is a joke because I knew what I signed up for. It was basically support. So
Hmm.
I guess if I was like training to be what do you call it, infantry,
Combat arms,
combat
or
arms or
yeah.
something, it probably would be a little bit more rougher or
Hmm.
a little bit more hard. So I wouldn't just say it's a joke. Just support. Training's not that intense. That's how I saw it. So yeah.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, there was not one point where I thought it was a joke because it was it was hard from beginning to end. Basic and AIT, I didn't get not one pass. But so in AIT, how was your experience? It was just also more. You got your phone the whole time, and
Yeah, it was a lot more relaxing. We had class every day. 5 days a week we have class, and we were just there learning. It was like high school over again, if you get what I'm saying. You guys going to school, going back to the barracks, going to school, going back to the barracks, and that was it.
and then Saturday, Sunday, you guys had
Yeah,
pass.
you had pass when we earned it. Because we had like
Mm.
week, fifth week, we earned something called gold pass. And when you get gold pass, now you can go off post, go to the mall, back to civilization a
Yeah,
bit. So it was fun.
and are the army basic training? Did you guys get leave, or you guys were there all 3 months?
Oh no, we had leave. The leave system is the same here,
Okay.
right? It's the same here, 2.5 per month, and but there, it's like us here. If we take like 30 days leave, they want to know you got like a good reason or whatever.
Hmm.
You can take 30 days leave and no one even blink an eye in Jamaica.
In basic training?
No,
That's what I'm sorry.
no,
In
no, no.
basic training, were you able to go back home, or was it until you were finished?
Oh no, the only thing we had in basic training in Jamaica, we had like something called Family Day, and that was like close to the graduation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We had Family Day, and then like probably 2 weeks after that, we have graduation or something.
Okay. Yeah. Um. Now moving forward after AIT was a smooth transition. It was nothing. Same old rumors, getting smoked,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. I feel like the meat and potatoes of your story here was the Jamaican Army, and I feel like that. I mean, your basic training experience, was there anything that just kind of stands out?
Yeah.
No, no, there's no.
To me, what stand out was people and their different backgrounds. So coming to the States, coming to the Army, and then I'm meeting like Gomez, Latino, you know, and then I'm meeting someone else from China, from all over the world. I had this friend in basic training. She was from Poland. I met people from America, Samoa. I met people from all over
Yeah,
the world.
America Samoa.
Japan. Korean. I met people like came from all over the world and joined the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
So it was like a big difference. Seeing people and their different backgrounds. You gotta adjust because you can't bring the same thing to everyone. So that was a game changer. You know.
And then I don't even think we didn't really talk when and then you came to Stewart.
Oh, so after AIT, I went back home for hometown recruiting for 2 weeks, and then I was in Miami, so I had to drive here to Stewart. And I heard a rumor, from when I was at AIT that First Brigade is going to Poland. I'm like, damn, hope I don't get placed in the First Brigade. I came to Stewart, got here in November, and it was like, yeah, First Brigade. I'm like, damn. When we're going to Poland, January. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't even get like to be in the States for a while. I'm like, damn. So I got the sword. I was like, they placed me in my unit. And then I was like on leave for a time, so I wasn't like at the unit. So January I can't come around and everyone started leaving for Poland. And I was on like probably one of the last persons to leave until they gave me opportunity to leave early. I was like, I'm not gonna be here paying no rent or nothing. Might as well just leave early. I went to like Zagan, Poland. I was separated from my platoon.
Yeah.
I was like out there by myself with a different like no one that from the platoon that I was introduced to. So that was like, whoa, okay. But then I got there and like I met some Jamaicans, you know, some of them, you know, we close right now, and
Baywatch.
and so yeah, so you know, it was a good experience being in a foreign country. You know, it was weird at first, you
What
know.
was your first experience of you being in Poland? Like seeing the Europe. Have you been to Europe before?
No, this was my first time in
Okay.
Europe. You know, so when I got to Poland, I think we didn't get to leave base for a while.
45 days.
So yeah, 45 days. So when the first day I got a chance to leave base, you know, we had to take taxis to like the town and everything, and like we tried taking a bus. Me and two of my friends, we tried taking a bus to a different city called Zari, and the driver didn't understand shit that we were saying, and the translator on the phone was like fucking up or something. So he was looking at us crazy. You know, I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I'm like, fuck this, you know what, I'll figure something out. You know, we just stayed there in Zagan and we just like, you know, try to enjoy the scenery a little bit, walk around a bit, get some ice cream from this great place called Cali Cafe. That was a good little spot, you know, and then we went back to post and I was like, shit, there's nothing really out there to do. I was like bored. And I'm like, fuck, but what is there to do? You know, so then, you know, we start going out a little bit more. Some of the guys, they were like telling us what to do, telling us where to go. And that helped a lot, you know. So we started doing other things. We went to Zelona Gora, and that was like a different change. Like they had a big ass mall, like we used to in the States.
I've been to the mall, yeah.
You know, and they had like a lot of different restaurants in Zelona Gora. Mexican restaurant, Indian
The
restaurant.
Mexican, that's literally what it's called, right? The Mexican?
Oh, no, Hola Mexicano.
Oh, no. I heard of the Mexican.
No, there's one there called Hola Mexicano. That was a good spot. The Indian restaurant was real good too. The food was real good, you know. And then like we're saying, all right, we're seeing Poland, and we want to see something else. So me and the boys was like, we're going to Germany, you know. So there was, so I took a 4 day, and me and some of the guys we went to Germany. It was my first time in Germany. I'm like trying to enjoy it. We went to like several different clubs, you know, and it was fun. It was a good experience. And there's this water park in Germany called Tropical Island. It's like a dome, right? Nice place because it was cold as fuck when we got there. So we went to that dome. And it was like they created like a little island inside.
Okay,
the
so they
dome.
created the temperature?
Yeah, and they had
okay.
the right temperature and everything, and it was good. It was good. It was a big ass water park inside a dome. You know, it was dope. That was good. So after Germany, I was like, where next can we go? So I went to like Prague. You know,
Prague?
Yeah, Prague was good. Czech Republic. Yeah, so it was good. Like they're real big on food over there for what I saw, you know. But like scenery wise, they had like castles and all that shit. You know, I'll send you two pictures so you can see. Like they had
actually, I think I remember you did post a picture. It's actually a fire pic. And then it's the big clock tower in the background. Is that Prague?
Yeah, that was Prague.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like big ass. They had like couple like castles that you could like walk and visit. So like I tried walking up to one of them and it was a big ass hill that you gotta go up. I like say, fuck this. I'm not going up there. I'm good. I can see from right here.
So from your time in Europe, did you, because a lot of other people faced any racism, did you face any discrimination or?
No.
Not at
No,
all.
I would not say that because one thing I realized when I was there, like when I went to Warsaw, right, with me and AB. We went to Warsaw and we went clubbing, and like every spot I've been to, there was someone giving me some type of compliment, you know.
Yeah. I think I remember you told me that these kids came up to you and said, "Can we take a picture with you?" Right?
Yeah, like there were like some people. You know, you would see stares
Yeah.
right? Like when I just got to Poland, I went to Zielona, and it was like I felt like I was the only black person there. They were all just looking like, why is this black guy here?
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
And the
but I
reason,
didn't pay any attention to
yeah,
it. You know, I'm from Jamaica. So certain things don't affect me, to be honest.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then also I asked because there was, remember that picture that they placed on the, like right in front of the base. I'm not gonna repeat what it said, but do you remember the picture they placed?
Or base or your base?
Your base.
I don't remember.
It was a picture. You don't remember? It said "Go home," and then it was
Oh, I don't remember it though.
nah.
I
They
thought,
put. I remember they put it in the group chat. It was
oh, damn.
Kelly actually sent it. It said "Go home," and that's
Oh, it was
why.
about the army.
Nah, it was the hard R.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. It was, and it became a very big deal. And
I never
then
saw
we
that
were all
one.
like, "Why
But
are we even here?" Like,
but I'm gonna be honest. Like I didn't experience none of it because I went. You know, I play football, so I went out and Poland got a rich culture when it come on to football. Cause they got like players like Robert Lewandowski, you know, which is a famous player, and I went out to play with some guys who are from the National Guard who were based over there doing some work. So they invited me to play some football with them, and I went to play. And one of the teams saw me, and they were like, two teams saw me, and they came up to me like, "Yo, can you come and play for us?" I'm like, "Okay." And like one team specifically asked me, and I was like, "Can I bring two of my own boys with me?" They told me like they only got space on the team for 3 international players, and that's their football thing over there. They only can have 3 international players on their team. So it was me, Cotto, and PQ, and we went to play for them, and we had a blast. Like they were super friendly. When we were leaving, they kept a barbecue for us, right? I didn't understand shit majority of them were saying. But they kept a barbecue for us. The manager of the team, he spoke English, and he explained everything to us. You know, he registered us for play for the team, you know. And I had a good season playing for them. The first game, the first official match that I played, I scored like 3 goals in the first half. And I
yeah,
was like, yeah. You know,
it was.
and all the people in that community, like, all of them loved me. They just like, whoa, this is our best player, you know. But it was good.
What was your jersey number?
I
Send me
think
the picture.
I'll send you the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I think I was wearing number 9
that's a
when the
way
league
better
started.
experience than because you guys were actually in a city. We were like
Yeah.
in a small little town, but no wonder you guys had a blast. There was not. I mean, we were at where we were at. You know, we can't change it, but it feels like Sagan was a lot more active than what we were at.
It it was a lot more active because we went out and like we talked to people and get to know where to go, what to do. You know, because a lot of the taxi operators, you know, they came to the games, the soccer games that we play, you know, and they would like say, "Yo, you guys really good, you know, continue playing for us," you know, like. But it was just based on the people that we were around.
I
You know,
agree. It was and then so did the base and Sagan have a bad like? Were they ever in bad standing with the town? Did they ever do anything in the town like the unit before where they were like, you don't know anything
so
about that?
they did a community outreach program, right? So we play football with the kids, and like I said, it was just a great environment. Like they welcomed us, you know. I don't know if something was going on. I didn't know about it.
Yeah, it
To
seems
be
like it
honest,
was. It
I
seems like
was
there
blind
wasn't.
to it.
It wasn't seem like there's any previous experiences of the unit before that made it.
No,
I feel like, and this is
but
my thought of SK, that the units that have gone there have all been shit because the people hated
oh
us. Literally, everybody, people from Gorza to SK did not like us.
no, they loved us over there, you know, because there was like a lot of little towns that we went to, and because we played soccer game all over the place, you know, and they loved us. Like I remember the battalion had an org day, and like the people from the town, the taxi the operators, everyone came to the org day to watch us play football, watch us play American football, you know, watch our little volleyball competition. They came out and they watched and supported us. So
Yeah,
it was like funny to hear that you saying that day, you guys in your area had we had a great experience in Zagan.
Oh, it was a no. For me, it
But
was like a 6 out of 10. Maybe.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
So I get what you're saying, but you have to put yourself out there as well. You got to get up and say, yo, I'm not going to stay in the back room. I'm going out and pass, try to enjoy this experience, because that's what I did. Like majority of the guys from our company, they didn't do shit. They just stayed in the back room, and I wasn't going to do that. I came here for the experience. I'm going to travel, right? And I'm going to enjoy myself.
I agree. No, I wasn't one of the ones that stayed in the barracks room. Like, we went to Gorza, and then I went to Italy, and then I went to Berlin, and but I just feel like where we were at, just for what it was like they had they're called soccer hooligans, which are like gangs in Poland, and like it was just not it. But that was my experience. I feel like it seems like you were just completing every side quest out there, joined the soccer team, went to Prague. You actually, it sounds like you made the most of.
I did.
Very open-minded approach.
One of the things I enjoyed, surprisingly, was the train system. I took a train from Zagan to
Poznan,
and I got lost.
I did too.
I got lost. I had to take a next train, and it was like crazy, but it was a good experience still. I made a vlog about it, but I didn't post it. I should really post it.
I mean, I also the train system. It's like it goes everywhere. It's like a good network. But if you don't read the signs, and because I took one from SK to Poznan, and on my way there I took the wrong train, and I had to buy another train ticket to get to Poznan, and I was able to get to Poznan, but I don't know. Like, I really didn't know. But my experience on the train was I was sitting I had my foot up on the couch. And it was like kind of like this, or I don't.
Did they come and tell you to take that shit down?
Yeah, he came and he told me, "Hey," and then I was.
That happened to me as well.
And then I said no, and then there was a lady who had her leg up, and then he went and told her, and then he said something, and then he pointed at me, and then I don't know. They were like really aggressive though.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Must be my luck.
But yeah, it was a good experience. Yeah, but I was so happy to come back home.
Everybody was, yeah.
Yeah, I was so happy to come back home.
What was your favorite meal out there in Poland? What?
I'm good.
You're good, yeah.
The food, I didn't enjoy the food that much, to be honest. I enjoyed the food when I went to like Berlin or Prague, but the Polish food is not this. It's not my thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I like the wings, but
so in Zagan there was a good spot for wings. Drinking, meat, eat, and drink.
Yeah, right there.
That was the spot. They had them honey wings.
I didn't try the honey wings.
Yo, them honey wings be hidden.
When I was there, I was obliterated. I'm talking about, like, I woke up drunk. I got there drunk, and I left drunk. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to my own boy Christoph.
Christoph. Yes.
Christoph, my boy.
His tequila sunrises, man. Oh
that shit hit. Christoph be thinking he's Jamaican.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he come up to me, yo, wagwan, my brethren.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, Christoph. Christoph,
he was a really good guy. Man. Yeah, really, really good guy.
Yeah, really cool guy. Like, we be there, and Christoph,
he was
like,
at the org day.
Yeah, he was the co-owner, and he would come on and just like, yo, we're drinking, and just buy all of us drinks.
Yeah.
Like, Christoph was cool.
Yeah, he was
I gave him, like, I had some Jamaican money on me, and they had this big board with like different currencies on it, and I gave him one. We signed it, and I gave him one. He's pinned it up there, and they were like, "Cool." I have like two shirts from that place, like me a drink.
Yeah,
there's a logo and everything. Yeah, Christoph was a good guy.
Yeah, me and Vigil did that for this spot called Bistro Nova.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put it there, but we put We didn't put anything nice. Well, we did put something nice. I put my Instagram handle Pocho17, and then he just put Chaka, like
Yeah.
COC, and then like in the Cali thing, it's like if you put an X, it's like you guys are cool or whatever. But before we close off this interview, man, just go ahead and give your socials, and I'll go ahead and edit them, the handle, the thumbnail.
Okay. So I'm Supreme underscore Shea on Instagram, and on TikTok is top notch underscore Shea.
And just how he was the one who introduced the beginning of this podcast, he's also gonna end it. Go ahead and end it with the in patois, if you could.
Alright, so big up on yourself, my people. Enjoy myself on the show with my brethren right there, so Gomez. You see me? This is Culturally Untitled, and yeah, it was nice being here. Enjoy it, and follow and subscribe.
All right. Thank you, bro.